Hello, I've just finished the Nick Carter, first story in the Nick Carter, The Crime of the French Cafe and Other Stories, starting off with The Crime of the French Cafe, where we have there's what looks like it's a disreputable French restaurant where people book rooms to have assignations. Women can't go in alone, but they can go in with gentlemen. And for yeah, hanky panky feels like it's hanky panky basically, because a private room to have a dinner with a woman. And what happens is Nick Carter, who is staking out a different case, comes across suddenly a guy in a waiter's uniform comes running out of the restaurant really quickly, jumps into a cab and takes off. And he would have followed him because he just thought something was up, but he has his own guy to tail, which he does. He tails him and then hands it over to a flunky, one of his flunkies, and goes back and checks it out. And when they go into there's room A and room B, which have adjoining doors that are locked shut, he finds a woman shot through the head with a gun, dead, and nobody else there. Everyone else has fled the scene, as it seems. And he tracks down Mr. John Jones and Mrs. John Jones, and there's a waiter, Corbu, who doesn't turn out great for him. There's a mysterious lady, mysterious femme fatale lady. It's very much kind of a lean, mean writing. It's like, oh, okay, this is where maybe kind of like Elmer Leonard, maybe even Hemingway got their idea for just really stripped down text, because this is written in, I think, 1893, but it's kind of got this modern, it's a lot more clunky than anything like Elmer Leonard or Hemingway. Definitely. This is not high literature, but it is extremely stripped down. We did this, we did that, we did this, we did that kind of language. It is, I guess, this is the men's adventure, hard-boiled detective kind of writing. It's basically just plot. Nick Carter, the head guy, isn't given much character. He's a detective. He's hard boiled. He's not like aggressive against women or anything like that, but it's very much like he's working very closely with the police, who seem to empower him with his own stuff. It does strike me as very much the kind of the idea of strike me as very much the kind of Elmer Leonard kind of men's kind of genre fiction thing of, there's a well-known French restaurant in the Tenderloin district which provides its patrons with small but elegantly appointed private dining rooms. The restaurant occupies a corner and is though its reputation is not strictly first class in some respects, its cook is an artist and the wine cellar is good as the best. It has two entrances, and the one on the side street is not well lighted at night, which again seems to be a thing of like assignations. At half past 7 o'clock one evening, Nick Carter was standing about 50 yards from this side door. The detective had shadowed a man to the house on the side street and was waiting for him to come out. The case was a robbery of no great importance, but Nick had taken it to oblige a personal friend who wished to have the business managed quietly. This affair would not be worth mentioning, except that it led Nick to one of the most peculiar and interesting criminal puzzles that he had ever come across in all his varied experience. While Nick waited for his man, he saw a closed carriage stop before the side door of the restaurant. Almost immediately, a waiter, bareheaded and wearing his white apron, came hurrying out the side door and got away into a carriage which instantly moved away at a rapid rate. This incident struck Nick as being very peculiar. The waiter had acted like a man who was running away. And that's, bang, bang, bang. That is how it opens. I mean, it is like a little novella, so maybe it's not surprising, but I think it gets the kind of the tempo, the declarative. We're not going to go inside Nick's head for the most part. it's very much kind of a plot of like a whodunit plot. I don't really care about who done it or why. Nick at the very end is a very traditional thing of we assemble everyone together, and Nick does explain things after tricking information out of one of the suspects. Very Columbo style explains what's happened. This is really it's a police procedural that would be very easily replaced by an hour of television sort of idea. But yeah, yeah. So that is the first one. It's nothing that I would. It's striking, I think, to me that it's like, oh, this was written in 1893, but it's not too far off of what gets written now in kind of detective crime fiction of a certain kind of lean, masculine sort of type, with women you can't quite trust, cheating, philandering going on amongst the dudes, that kind of thing. Very much, with a detective who is going to bring justice to it all. All right, I'll leave it there.